have you ever felt like you're speaking at God instead of with God? You know, like your prayers are just a monologue sent out into the universe? Well, today we're diving into a concept that completely flips that. It's called Ism-i Husna, the most beautiful names. And trust me, this is way more than just a list of titles. It's a divine invitation to know the Creator on a deeply personal, powerful level.
So just think about it for a second. When you pray, how do you do it? What are you asking for? Help? Forgiveness? Guidance? Now, what if you could make your prayers laser-focused? What if you could call on the exact divine quality you need in that very moment? That's the power we're talking about, and that's the journey we're starting right now.
Okay, so what exactly is Ism-i Husna? The name itself literally means the most beautiful names. But it's so much more than that. Think of it like this. These are 99 different windows into the very nature of the divine. Each one shows you a different attribute, a unique power, a different shade of mercy, or wisdom, or justice.
And get this isn't just a nice idea or a suggestion. It's a direct instruction right from the Quran. Call on Him by them. This one line changes everything. It takes the study of these names from, a dry academic exercise and turns it into a living, breathing spiritual practice. It's both a command and an invitation to connect with God in the most specific and meaningful way possible.
But there's also a warning that comes with this. The Quran mentions that some people actually practice deviation when it comes to these names. So if these names are the path to connection, how on earth do people go astray? Well, it turns out there are three main ways this happens.
And according to the scholar Haji Ramil Bidalov, this is a really big deal. Misunderstanding these names isn't just about getting a detail wrong. He says it's like putting a veil between you and God. It's a spiritual blind spot that literally stops you from truly knowing the one you're trying to worship.
So here are the three paths of error. First up, you have the materialist. This is someone who looks at the world and gives credit for creation to some kind of mindless, random nature, completely ignoring the Creator. Then you've got the corporealist. This is the error of trying to make God smaller by giving Him human-like parts, like hands or eyes, which is seen as totally unfitting. And finally, there's the idolater. This is anyone who takes God's exclusive powers and gives them to something else, whether it's an ancient statue or something more modern, like money or power.
Okay, so we've seen the pitfalls, the ways people get it wrong. But what happens when you get it right? Well, understanding Ism-i Husna correctly isn't just about dodging mistakes. It's about getting your hands on a set of keys, and these are keys that can unlock reality itself.
So what do these keys unlock? Three amazing things. First, they absolutely supercharge your prayers. Second, they help you decode the entire operating system of the universe. And third, and this is the big one, they help you unlock your own deepest spiritual potential. Let's break each of those down.
First, let's talk about prayer. Praying without knowing the names is like shouting a request into a void. It's a monologue. But when you know the names, everything changes. It becomes a dialogue. You're no longer just asking for provision, you're calling on Ar-Razak, the great provider. You're not just hoping for forgiveness, you are speaking directly to Al-Ghafur, the all-forgiving. You know exactly who you're talking to, and that makes your prayer incredibly focused and powerful.
Second, decoding the universe. This is such a cool idea. These names aren't just labels we put on God. They're active forces. They're like the divine operating system running the entire cosmos. From the very moment of creation, which is the work of Al-Khaliq, the Creator, to the incredible wisdom you see in nature, which is a sign of Al-Hakim, the All-Wise. It's all a manifestation of these names in action.
The story of Adam in the Quran just makes this crystal clear. Remember when God created Adam and the angels were like, why? They couldn't see the big picture. So what did God do? He taught Adam the names. And it was that knowledge, that specific understanding, that allowed Adam to explain the divine plan that even the angels couldn't see. Knowing the names gives you a peek behind the curtain, into the why of it all.
And that brings us to the final key, the most profound part of this entire journey. It's about making a huge shift from just knowing the names to actually reflecting their qualities in your own life. This, right here, is the ultimate goal.
There's a special term for this, mezhar. It means a place of manifestation, or reflection. The idea is that you can polish your soul so that it becomes like a perfect mirror, reflecting these divine attributes out into the world. So you don't just ask the merciful for mercy, you become a channel of mercy to others. You become a living embodiment of the name.
And if you want a mind-blowing example of this, just look at the prophet Isa, Jesus.
He became a mesher, a manifestation of the name Al-Muhi, the giver of life. And because of that connection, by God's permission, he could perform the action of that name. He revived the dead. This just shows you the incredible potential we're talking about.
So here's the bottom line. The whole journey starts with learning the names to make your prayers better. But it can lead to a state where your entire being becomes a reflection of them. Your prayer stops being just a request and starts becoming an action. Your very gaze could become a source of healing, reflecting Ash-Shafi, the healer, or a source of guidance, reflecting Al-Hadi, the guide. You go from being someone who just asks for things to someone who, by God's will, actually does things.
Wow, it's a truly transformative path, isn't it? Moving from just knowing to having a dialogue, from that dialogue to understanding the whole universe, and then finally, to becoming a reflection of the divine yourself. It all starts with just one name. So, I'll leave you with this question. Which beautiful name will you choose to connect with today?